Hello dear friend, this video is part of the series about the sign positions of the moon, and this one in particular is about people who have their moon in Aries. We are going to talk about their main characteristics together with their strengths and also the possible challenges they need to overcome. If you're not sure about the sign position of your moon, you can check the links below the video where you will find a link for my free birth chart calculator. You will calculate your chart immediately, and of course there you will also find the position of your moon. So if you already know your moon is in Aries, or maybe you know someone who has their moon in Aries and you want to learn more things about them, that's what we are gonna cover now. First of all, let's talk about the main things that the moon describes in our chart. The moon is related to our behavior, how we express ourselves, how we connect to the closest environment around us, and also how we see the outer world. All of that we can learn by analyzing the position of the moon. Also, the moon is related to our instincts, and that's very important actually, because it's not always something we are consciously aware of. Those are subconscious and instinctive reactions. So some of the things that you may hear in this video may not be something you recognize immediately. You may need to think about it, or you will understand that in some cases this is just your initial response. Also, the natal moon describes our connection with our mother and overall the female figures in our lives. For men, of course, those are their wives, and women they are attracted to, and also our connections with children. So specifically about the moon in Aries, what can we learn by that? First of all, let's remember that Aries is a sign which is ruled by Mars. So it means that for this person, their moon is ruled by Mars. So their behavior, their reactions, their responses are triggered by Mars. So what we can expect here is, of course, very fast reactions. Whatever happens outside of this person, his response is very fast. He doesn't like to waste time. He usually doesn't think things through. He has a very fast reaction, which sometimes might be appropriate, and in other cases, not that much. The positive thing about this moon is that as a fire sign, this moon is very optimistic. Those people have courage, they have braveness, they also have a positive belief. They are enthusiastic and they can get really excited about something, especially if this is something brand new, especially if they haven't done it yet. It's very exciting and it really triggers a lot of emotions. Another thing which is typical for the moon in Aries is that also those are people who really value independence. If you have your child with the moon in Aries, good luck telling them what to do. Even if your husband or your wife has their moon in Aries, good luck with that also. These are people who like to take independent decisions. They like to decide on their own what they are going to do. So someone telling them what to do, someone forcing them or trying to manipulate them can really piss them off. And they are also quite easily triggered, so you don't have to do a lot of things actually to make them angry. Sometimes they can easily get angry and upset because someone may try to tell them what to do or to direct what they are supposed to focus on. So remember, for the moon in Aries, independence is extremely important. Also, these are people who need actions. even when they want to relax, it might actually be a problem for them because they just cannot lie on the couch or, just sit around doing nothing. Usually they get more recharged and they can relax by focusing on something physical. It could be sports, it could be, for women, very often cleaning the house can be like the most relaxing thing. I honestly don't understand it, but it really happens. There are many people who enjoy taking action, and that includes, taking care of the house or even focusing on some things that are not necessarily fun, but they just need the action. So if you have your moon in Aries, one of the things you may need to work on is to learn to slow down. Because honestly, sometimes those people may also burn out. If they are not careful with how they're managing their energy, at some point they may really get exhausted. This is very typical because they're constantly going and they just don't give themselves enough time to slow down and relax. So this could be an important lesson for people who have their moon in Aries. Another major specific characteristic is that people with the moon in Aries may see the world as a place where they constantly need to fight or at least defend themselves. Back to the ruler of Aries, which is Mars. We know that Mars is the planet of wars. So that's why those people may feel like they have to be constantly in this warrior mode, like they just cannot catch a break, that they always have to be ready to defend themselves or to take certain actions. So again, it makes them more challenging for them to relax, but also to trust other people, to rely that someone else may take care of them or that things will be just fine. Usually it's very difficult for them. They believe they have to do all the work, and it's kind of a mindset where you also have to be constantly ready to take action or even ready to fight when necessary. And obviously this is a very masculine role. So for men this seems to be more okay. But for women, very often this may create some imbalance in their life. When you are too strong, too competitive, you are always doing things on your own as a woman, it may get hard to attract a masculine man and allow him to take care of you. So for women, sometimes this may create possible confrontations or overall challenges even in their close relationships. Another thing which is interesting about the moon is that this is the planet which can show us how one expresses their feelings or everything they're going through or even their identity. And there are certain positions of the moon which intensify this expression. And the moon in Aries is one of those positions. So sometimes people with the moon in Aries may exaggerate things a little bit. And it doesn't mean they're doing this intentionally or this is some kind of a lie. It's just that, they're so easily triggered. They get so excited or so angry, and it's immediately demonstrated. There is no filter, and other people see this immediately. So this can be really translated as accelerator. The moon in Aries is accelerator of whatever the person is going through. On the other side, they also tend to be really excited when they have something new to focus on, but what they might struggle with is when they need to be more consistent. Because we know that in life, we start something, no matter what it is, and very often it's exciting at first, but then at some point it gets familiar. It might get a little boring or too routine, and that's when moon in Aries may have serious problems. They need this constant excitement. They need to be focused on something new, and when it's no longer that exciting or new, they may fall short. So they may have some problems with consistency and being really focused and dedicated and completing the things they start. So here it would be very important if we can analyze Saturn, for example, or the earth element, because those are indications that may compensate or help this moon in Aries. And we, like everything else in astrology, it really depends on how we use the energy. Also, pay attention what kind of aspects this moon has. If they're mostly supportive aspects, then we can expect more the positive characteristics of the Aries moon. To be courageous, to be brave, to be independent, to be optimistic, to be ready to take action, ready to take risks. But if the moon has more challenging aspects or some other complications, we can expect also lots of confrontations, anger issues, sometimes even aggression and harshness. In some extreme cases, this may even lead to violence. Of course, luckily, not everyone who has their moon in Aries is a violent person. I'm definitely not saying that. But if the moon has lots of challenging aspects, let's say with Uranus, with Pluto, those people might be kind of too harsh or too intense with themselves and with other people as well. Now, about the communication or the connection with the mother. Usually, this mother is very independent and she teaches the person also to learn to take action, to be responsible for their own life. So this is not usually this typical protective, very caring, extremely warm mother. She is more like a masculine, strong, empowered woman who also encourages the child to be independent and to take their own life in their own hands, usually earlier in life. So let me see if there is something else we need to add here. So to summarize the most important things about this moon, remember, it's about taking action. And if the person sometimes is not able to take action, this may really include or bring this anger, and if this anger is not recognized or expressed, sometimes it can turn into autoaggression or other issues. So if you have your moon in Aries and you don't recognize yourself in what I just shared, it means that there is something which is really suppressed in you, and this energy is there. So if you don't recognize it, it means that you have to work on that. And of course, I'm not saying that you should become aggressive or harsh or take reckless decisions. Of course, we talk about the positive side, to be courageous, to be brave, to take action, to enjoy the variety of our life. So if that's the case, please dig deeper and try to connect yourself with this part. So that was the most important about this moon. Please share in the comments your opinion, your experience, and how do you feel with this moon, if you have it in your chart, or what kind of observations you have with other people. And if you want to learn astrology with us, you are welcome to sign up for the waitlist for MarStars Astrology Academy. We open the doors only once a year, so if you're interested in a really advanced and also very professional training, please check the links below. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Ciao!